Alright, folks, welcome back to the Height Lock. I'll go back to the original character I chose. I only got one left through it. So, for those who don't recall, or, well, for everyone, last time, at the end of the stream, we wiped. So we're starting fresh. I've done a lot of extra research, some calcs, things like that, that I think will be a big help for getting through this challenge. But of course, this does mean that we have to do all of the button mashing that the early game entails. Welcome to the stream, Rafkin. Oh, Ella. Oops, Ella. All true. All true and accurate. Okay, so we're going to take a second, adjust our settings. And drop a save. So that if we... that's okay. Sorry, it was showing a status bar on my screen that I didn't really feel the need to have. Save here. That's just so if we wipe in the early game, which is sadly pretty likely, we will have an easy save to reload for getting a hold of, or for starting fresh with our starter. And as before, we're starting with Poplio. Simply because it's the... Oh, just so we all know, Rockruff rules. Fair enough. So, we'll go ahead and revisit the old nickname. Once again, our Poplio is board shorts. Some of these will stay the same, some of them will be different, and we might have a few different encounters. I've gone out of my way to be sure that I've got a more detailed plan this time around. So, board shorts, what's the deal with you? Plus special attack, minus speed, honestly that's pretty dang good. So, let's talk through real quick what happened last time. And the long and short of it is simply that I underestimated a Pokemon that I already knew was generally a pretty difficult challenge. Because that Lurantis is infamous for killing Nuzlocks. So, I really should have gone in there more prepared, potentially done some more careful EV training, but the biggest issue was that I didn't get a hold of a stronger flying type to use against it. So part of what we're going to be doing right now is trying to get, in this run we're going to try to get a hold of an Oricorio prior to that fight, which is almost guaranteed, but there are some risks involved. In the meantime, though, we're going to stick with the original approach in the early game. So all we need to worry about right now is just prepping to face the second How fight. Gotta take a minute and get cut off up to a decent level. Now let's see the details on cutoff. Kenai, neutral nature, yep, all good. That should all be fine. I think Kenai might actually be Pick-a-Peck's only ability. We're just gonna wait for some bug types. Why can't I run away from these? I'm not that slow. So one thing that I've done, and I'll actually take a second and show y'all here. So, if we take a second, these are some of the preliminary notes I've put together for the hike. So I've gone through and just highlighted specific items and battles and what we can do for encounters to try and make sure that we get what we need to. And a lot of this is just the same as last time, but there are a few other things that we can do. And there are a couple of things where we might do things slightly differently than I've got written down here. For example, for Brawler on Route 2 isn't really a required encounter, we could get a random encounter on Route 2. I just don't recall if that helps us with any specific dupes. So if we take a look here at Route 2, standard walking. Yeah, so if we look around here, none of these, other than Young Goose, which is already guaranteed later, are especially important for dupes. If we get farther along, then we've got a chance at Duty Fly, but we've also got a chance at wasting the encounter. That's why I'm leaning towards Crabrawler. Of course, Route 3 isn't the best. If we go in the first grass patch, we can at least guarantee that we don't get the Bagon encounter, which is pretty much the worst encounter in this area. Despite being a dragon, it's just first stage dragons have really pitiful stats. And then, yeah, we're pretty much at the mercy of whatever we happen to stumble across. Recall, when do we guarantee Young Goose? Oh. Yeah, we're actually going to deliberately get the Young Goose encounter in Verdant Cavern. Because we can guarantee Diglett in Seaward Cave. And that's 2 major dupes covered. Because those guys come up all over the place. So yeah, we've got some details on how we're going to approach this. Right now, the only really worrying encounters that I'm seeing coming up are Teacher Emily and Captain Alima. Both of those are pretty difficult fights, and to a certain extent we're just going to have to rely on luck. So yeah, that's where we are. One thing we're going to need to do, once we've got Noricorio, is we're actually basically never going to use it in battle until we get to Totem Lorantis again. So I want that thing perfectly trained. Welcome to the street, Blastborn. As you can see, we are back at the start of the run, because I got the team killed last time. Level 5, then we'll start fighting a wider variety of opponents. I just like a couple of levels on the ones that have a chance of surviving a few hits. Okay. Check what we actually have to deal with as far as battles here on Route 1. So I'm pretty sure we have one required battle. Sorry about that. I probably shouldn't have left that just like that. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have a required Rattata fight. that's level 6. So now we'll go and take on a couple of the trainers that we have to deal with. Has a Caterpie, so no issues there. Has a young which I think is the main thing that we needed for how to. Echoed voice will let us make sure that we don't get hit by Pichu's static. Meaning the only thing we have to worry... so the live count is currently at 2, because we just restarted the run because I got the team kill last time. Anyway, welcome to the stream, Zaris. Oh, the Pokemon... Oh, no wonder it's loud. Somehow my YouTube sound got bumped up since last time. There we go. So yeah, last time I got the team killed. By the Totem Lurantis that we were dealing with. As one of the later totem fights. You know what? I'm going to push the team to level 7 before we do, or to level 8 before we do how to. I mean, truth be told, I'm pretty confident that we can beat the game. It's just going to take a little bit of luck. So it's not nearly as far as I was hoping for. But... no, I made a couple of mistakes that cost us the run. So my plan for this one is to not make those mistakes. Unfortunately, board is very slow due to a minus speed nature, which does make it a little bit tricky to run away from some fights. historically, we never really relied on board for speed. Yeah, we're going to be focusing on the bugs here to level up board, get those HPVs. I'm pretty sure that the game actually forces the first encounter to be Pick-a-Peck, which is a bit annoying. I actually ignore the forced Pidgey encounter in Pokemon X and Y when I Nuzlocke that, even if it's legal. I skip the first encounter and see what the second legal encounter is. Just because I don't really like it forcing the first encounter to be one particular thing. I do the same in Sword and Shield most of the time, where I just ignore the Lechonk. Like, if my second encounter is Lechonk, that's fine. I don't mind that. It's just the fact that having that forced encounter is a bit annoying. Okay, let's see if there are actually any items that I'm trying to track down in Iki Town. No, there aren't. Okay, I am leading with Cutoff. Time to battle. So we got How To. We got our two Pokemon against his two Pokemon. His Pichu has an advantage against us, but thankfully it is a Pichu, which means we should be fine, assuming Thunder Shock doesn't paralyze. So our plan is just to spam Echoed Voice until this thing goes down, which looks like it'll be a 2-shot because Echoed Voice is doubled power the second turn. And we've still got full health, so why not keep going with Echoed Voice? We're down by 1 defense, so the scratch is gonna hurt, but not enough to put us in real danger. And yeah, that last Echoed Voice was killed from full health. Okay, well, time to set off on our Pokemon journey. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about the wide lens quite yet, even though that is something that we could pick up right now. Just because that would require us to save, and then after saving, we would have to... After saving, if we hit a full reset, we would have to start all over and mash through that early game text stuff. So until we've got an inaccurate move that we have to worry about, I won't bother with the wide lens. To walk in front of this kid, but it's fine. All he's got is a grubbin. Okay, Mom, I'm back from my Pokemon journey. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and buy some repels right off the bat just to make sure we have them, because repels are important. Yeah, I forgot to drop... I dropped a save back then, but I forgot to drop a save state. Which is really what I should have done. Oh wait, it forces the game to be night right now, doesn't it? Okay, in that case, there should be some Corsola here. Why aren't they here? I wonder if they have to wait for some later event to spawn. Or maybe because it is forced night as opposed to time night. I don't actually know if it is forced night, to be fair. Well, regardless, we're up against the trainer school now. So that means we have to deal with someone with a level 8 Pick-a-Peck, someone with a level 7 Bonsly. Looks like someone with a level 7 Metapod, and someone with a level 8 Grimer. To do. I meant to open the bag so that I could deal with that XP share. So I believe the person back here on the right is the one with the level 8 Pick-a-Peck, and I'd like a couple of extra levels on my Pick-a-Peck before we have to deal with it, because our best bet is just to Echoed Voice through it. On the other hand, this guy has the Metapod, which is a nice, easy matchup for a big guy. And we learned Rock Smash. We'll go ahead and switch board up front. Unfortunately, while board doesn't have a terrible matchup into any of these trainers until Teacher Emily, it doesn't have a great matchup either. Let's see real quick. Sorry. So Poplio and Pick-a-Pack are our 2 Pokemon so far. Just open that in a new window. So Pick-a-Pack has all it'll learn for the first little bit. Poplio learns Disarming Voice at level 8, so Poplio already knows Disarming Voice and I just hadn't noticed it. This should be pretty doable. That said, we're gonna go ahead and bump Cut Off to the front. Go get healed up. And we're going to fight this guy first. Oh wait, no, we can't fight that guy first. Okay, I'm going to do a tiny bit of extra grinding prior to fighting the other Pick-a-Pack, because in a mirror match, things are heavily left to luck. Honestly, I would just like to make it less of a mirror match as much as I can. I think it does have to be... I think it must be fixed at nighttime here, though, because... It's not even 4 p.m. where I am, so it wouldn't make sense for it to be choosing that it's nighttime in-game. I'm pretty sure it doesn't do that until, like, 6. Come on. How many fights is this going to take? There we go. Okay, so now we're up to level 10, which should give us a very safe edge on speed. Stage of the game, 2 levels matters a lot more than it would at a later point in the game, just because, well, that's 20% of my total levels. Oh, that was close. So, I'm pretty sure that Grimer has the ability Poison Touch. So it used Bite. Yeah, it had the ability Poison Touch, so it used Bite, and that poisoned us, which led to it doing a lot of damage. And that's the situation where this battle becomes dangerous without that happening. Echoed Voice is more than enough to break through it. Yeah, we'll play up the bad boy part for our GF. Oh, oops. And now we're going to go ahead and get bored up to level 10. And I guess I'll do my fighting over here. It's a bit annoying because we no longer have the chance to encounter what's it called? Lediba, because it's nighttime now. All of the Lediba encounters are replaced by Spinarak, which means really the only Pokemon that we're going to be battling are Caterpie, just because we want to get useful EVs. And everything except Caterpie in this particular area gives attack EVs, which is definitely a bit on the annoying side. I wish they designed the game so that you could grind for specific EVs a little bit more early game, but at the same time, it does make grinding on all of our physical attackers a lot easier. So, you know. Who knows, maybe I should go to the other section where I have a chance of encountering Metapod. In fact, you know what? I will. This is going very slowly. Yeah, I don't actually know how Poképelago works in this game. I mean, I know that it's the only way to farm specific berries, and that it can be used to get fossils, but that's about all I've got. Once we get far enough into the game, probably when we get past the second island, I'll just be handling all of my EVs through Pokédex. Like, well, actually, no. Once we get access to EV adjustment berries, then I'll be handling all of my EVs through Pokédex just to save time. Whenever we have a bit of a grinding session where I just level up through rare candies, I'll let Pokédex deal with it. Pollution stones, shards, nuggets, and fossils. I think it gets unlocked pretty early, but I'm not totally certain. Shards. What are shards used for in this game? So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. We've only got... I don't know if we have any Pokemon in this run that we will be evolving through evolution stones. The positive is that the XP curve isn't as tight as I thought it was initially when I was initially planning this route. So we've got a little bit more wiggle room. Like for Lima, I think I can afford to be up to level 11, maybe even level 12, which is the level cap for the totem fight, and then just rely on other than my initial 3 Pokemon to get through to the totem fight. I gotta double check that, but... we're almost there. So just give us like one more Metapod and then another Caterpie, we should be part of why I'm so concerned with EV training is that in my calculations, I'll want just about max EVs on Oricorio to guarantee the 2-shot against Lurantis. And this is assuming that I get an Oricorio, which by the way I can't guarantee. And if we don't get an Oricorio, then it's going to be a whole mess of calcs. In order to prep for... oh, whatchamacallit. It's going to be a whole mess of calcs to prep for whether we can even hope to beat Lurantis. Could I please run away? Okay, I can afford another fighter too. I'd say the big positive is that we get access to farmable Oranberries prior to the first totem fight. So like we will have a steady supply of berries throughout the majority of the run. It's just this early area before we face a Lima that is really heavily luck based, because if just about anything goes really unlucky during the Teacher Emily fight or the Alima fight, we wipe. There's a pretty big chance of wiping in both of those, which makes me uncomfortable, but that's why I'm trying to rush through the early game. Just get to those early fights quickly. There we go. Finally got another Metapod. It's so long. Okay, now give me a Caterpie. Thank you. And let's check and see, but I don't think the course lucky spawned. Oh crap, I didn't mean to fight you. I mean, the positive is that we don't really get much experience on board shorts during this section. So honestly, getting that out of the way. Why am I healing again? Okay, so the strategy with Teacher Emily is pretty straightforward. We send in send in cutoff shorts. And fire off some rock smashes. Into Magnemite, and then because we won't have any echoed voice charging up, if we have the space to do so, we'll fire off another rock smash into Meowth. That said, it's pretty narrow margins. Oh, there is something I can take care of real quick. Is it you that gives me the quick claw? You can have a quick claw to hold. Are there any other items that I need to pick up right now? Oh, I've got the workup TM. I'll be using that pretty soon, but not right now. Alright, let's go. I'm not actually sure whether her Meowth has Technician, but I'm guessing it does, which makes it a lot scarier than it would be otherwise. But still, the Magnemite is the one with an advantage into both of our Pokemon. Oh, crap. We did not get the -1 defense. Since both moves should kill, it should be random here. Dang. I think we've already lost. I think that was a crit, but I wasn't watching closely enough to be sure. But that amount of damage is probably the result of a crit. Yeah, okay, that's attempt number 1, because even if we kill the Magnemite with a high roll this turn, we're still going to die to the... Okay, well... I guess that was attempt number 3, technically. Oh wait, this forces us back to there. Okay, so that was where we needed the save. I was just trying to get to a closer place to drop our save state. I will put that save state in slot 10. The next thing we do should be getting our Pokemon. Board Shorts number 4, welcome to the team. Let's see what the deal is with Board Shorts. Minus attack plus special defense, that's pretty good too for a defensive Pokemon. All things considered. Okay. Well, let's go, Hal. Let's go, Hal. I've got Probably should have checked about how many EVs we had so that I could jumpstart some of this, but... Next day... Okay, if the first encounter here is Pick-a-Peck, I'm probably going to roll for the second encounter. Not because I don't want Pick-a-Peck, it's by far the best option, but because I just want to be consistent. You know what? No, never mind. I'm just going to get the guaranteed Pick-a-Peck. We kind of need it. Some games I like the freedom to shake it up, but we kind of need the Pick-a-Peck for this run. And it's nice to have it guaranteed here. So, cut off. Welcome to the team. See, normally I would make it a special case for this area, but honestly, I really like having the guaranteed Pick-a-Peck, so we're just gonna roll with it and pretend that I'm not splitting from my normal rule set. Oh, speaking of which, what's the deal with you, Pick-a-Peck? Neutral nature, I think a bit worse stats than last time, so probably slightly worse EVs. The thing is, this is already a difficult run. Adding an extra layer of difficulty onto that would just be trouble. Especially since if I got a Caterpie, I would literally just reset the run right there. Young Goose would be doable, but... Then again, if I got Young Goose, that would lock me out of there's a guaranteed Young Goose encounter. There are guaranteed encounters for most of the Pokemon that are even remotely useful in this area. But welcome to the stream, Emmy. We are on attempt number 4. Bit of an early game purgatory here. But we will try to get out of it by the end of today. Thank you for that, Emmy. Same to you. I'm so good at flirting. Level 7. Now we gotta hunt around for Caterpie because they're the only thing that I'll let board shorts train against right now. As far as you know. Oh, I guess Ladybug is also fair. y'all know, I've got the whole two-way stream set up going. So, like, y'all can see me, but I can see you. Don't all the streamers do that these days? Okay, and now... There we go. And against this girl, who has a Caterpie, I believe. Yep. Board. Against this guy's Young Goose, we will once again use Cutoff. Just being a little bit careful with the EVs. And now we back up, finish up grinding to level 8. And then we'll go to how to. Yeah, I can understand why you would be mad if Will decided to set up the two-way system, but I mean, let's be honest, I'm far more trustworthy than Will, so... Also, I'm pretty sure that Will, like, used his fake electrician powers to invent the system. Like, that's definitely something that might have happened that I didn't just make up right now. Yeah, his PC does seem to be struggling these days. Though I know what it's like, because I have those days where my PC is just turning my room into an oven. I love watching the guy run in super speed. It's kind of funny. Yeah, that's not my PC. Some days it's my PC. Today things are pretty cool, despite it being like 70 degrees outside, probably. Let's see real quick. What temperatures are we dealing with here? Weather... No, that's water drive. Ah, 72 degrees. To be fair, it's nice that it finally feels like summer. We were dealing with snow so far into the year here, it was so annoying. Like, I just want to do summer things and be able to sit out on my balcony, and here the weather is like, nope, it's still winter. struggle was real. Okay. We are ready for the match. And this match should be pretty safe, again, as long as Pichu doesn't paralyze with Thunder Shock. I suppose a crit could be kind of pricey. Dang, that was a big Thunder Shock. Yeah, see, I like snow, but there comes a point when it's time to stop having it. Oh, it's a good thing we didn't knock him into Blaze range, or he might have died there. Also, apparently we're speed tied, so that's concerning. Yeah, this Pick-a-Peck doesn't have the best stats. Day later. Okay, we're finally clear here. We're clear of that early game text box mashing purgatory, and now we just get the early game luck roulette purgatory. Yeah, this isn't the fastest Pick-a-Peck, which is a little bit annoying because Pick-a-Peck's one good trait at this point in the game is its speed. Oh well, we were never going to outspeed the most dangerous Pokemon in this early game. This just means that we also won't outspeed what was it? We also won't outspeed Teacher Emily's Meowth. Center tutorial. Finally. On to this section. We're at level 9. Yeah, it's just a lot of button mashing. We're doing all the same strategies because there's really no better strategies for this section. And give you our Quick Claw. And now it's time to get Board Shorts up to level 10, and the same with Cutoff. fact, we'll take board shorts all the way to level 11 just because there's not really much reason not to, since we're planning to use cutoff against all of the remaining trainers in the Pokemon school. Unfortunately, I think we're into nighttime now, so... Hang on. Got an idea. We'll drop a quick normal save, not a save state thing. And then... we'll restart. And hopefully that'll cause it to check the system clock again. And it'll be back to daytime. Nice. That works. Yeah, the reason it keeps hitting nighttime is that I'm using speed up, and it only checks the system clock when I first load the game. After the game is loaded, it goes off of in-game time to determine what time of day it is. By doing this, we can guarantee that it's currently reading it as daytime. Which just lets us get a little bit faster grinding because Lediba will come out instead of Spinarak. We're gonna have to go back to get here finally. Isn't it sad that I actually know some of the lyrics to this song that's currently playing? This is from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and they played the lyric version at the end of story mode, and I really liked it. I suppose I should mention that the lyric version is in Latin, and yet I still learned to sing some of it. Like, phonetically, I wouldn't know what the words meant if it wasn't for having looked up the translation as well. So I can't even remotely speak Latin, but I still remember the words when this song comes up. I should probably shake it up and add some more video game music to this playlist that I've been using. At the same time, so much effort. It's not like I use this every stream. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's either we zoom or... It's either we use the zoom or this early part takes like an extra hour. I mean, I could put that on my resume, but then I would at least need a recap to remember more than the first line. Because that's all I've got. That's it. Adi Famam Ilias. Yeah, I'd like to clear the early game purgatory of trying to luck my way through Teacher Emily and Delima before we get to matches that we actually have a reliable way through. Because without that, it's just rough. Sadly, I can actually remember more of the English translation than I can of the original Latin. Okay, we got Baby Doll Eyes, Replace Growl. Now we take Cutoff up to level 10. Cutoff has the freedom to just kill everything rather than waiting for specific encounters. So this will be quicker. And I mean, it's not surprising that I remember more of the English than the Latin, given English is what I speak, but you know, I still wouldn't mind remembering more of the Latin. Sadly, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be sung in like an opera style, so it is well out of my range to attempt to sing it, even if I look at it. I guess not so much opera as like a whole chorus. You know how it is with Latin lyrics, there's a lot of vocalizing and such. Let's redo the orders for a moment. Small chance that things go very badly here, but it would take a poison and a crit in order to put me in danger of dying. That said, oh, there's the crit, but we managed to dodge the poison. Please let that be my bad luck for this for this early run. So yeah, I keep picking the response that makes it sound like I am in trouble, you know, just to look like a bit of a bad boy for our island GF. Okay, time to push to level 11. I could try going with the optional rule that a lot of people use in Pokemon Sun and Moon, where they break Route 1 into separate areas. Just because this is a hard matchup to handle with just 2 Pokemon, especially when one of them is guaranteed to be Pick Attack. And I could try... Why did I go for Rock Smash against a Ladybug? I could try a different starter. That's also worth considering here. Because having the Fire-type starter would at least help a couple of matchups early on, even if you couldn't deal with some of the later ones. It's kind of a tricky call. I'm trying to go for the sustainable approach, especially since there is at least a chance to get through, but I might shake it up. Having a safer way to get through Teacher Emily would be nice. Okay, this will be the last one. We're at level 11, which I think gives us a 2-level advantage on Teacher Emily's Meowth. Yeah, 2-level advantage on Teacher Emily's Meowth. Again, this is our best bet, and we just kind of have to hope that she doesn't... I mean, ideally she would just go for Tackle, because I think all of the AI in this game is semi-random, but odds are she just goes for Thunder Shock. Okay, no crit this time, but we got paralyzed, really? We're dead. We can't survive another Thunder Shock, and... You know what? Despite the fact that we might even have a chance at winning this, we're just gonna go ahead and reload the save state. And you know what? We're gonna shake it up. I'm going to try going for the Fire type this time. Even though it can't beat early stuff. I accidentally mashed B for giving it a nickname. Oh, this Litten has absolutely no chance against Lurantis. Its stats are too low and it can't evolve. Like, I didn't even bother bringing in trying to catch a Salandit for the Lurantis. Because it wasn't going to make a difference. Lurantis needs... Yes, its second form is more than 2 feet. We'll go with gym shorts for this one. Yeah, the reason I've been going with Poplio is that it is the only one that can evolve and stay within our height limit. Like, for reference, because there are a lot of Pokemon that you wouldn't expect to be above the height limit that are. For example, Ladybug. That Ladybug that we've been fighting is 3 feet. And that is probably its wingspan, not its height. But I'm going by the Pokédex entry. Plus attack, but minus speed, which means we're probably going to be outsped by the Magnemite. So yeah, no, if the fire type was able to evolve, I would have been taking it the whole time, just because getting why did I say cry? Cut. Look, it's just time to cry, okay? But yeah, if there was a way of getting a decent fire type early game, I would take it, because it helps a lot with some of the early matchups. And we've got a lot of water type matchups that we can get a hold of, especially early game. Positive is that with the fire type, we're pretty much guaranteed to get through Teacher Emily, I think. Just because we have a strong edge into her Magnemite now, but even then, I'm iffy about Ilima. And if we can't find a reliable strategy to clear Ilima with Litten, then we'll go back to Poplio because it's just more useful in the long term. Things that really struck me when I was first planning this run is just how many small Pokemon are still too tall for the 2-foot tall rule. If I try to do this in a generation earlier than like 6, if I ever try to do a height lock in an earlier generation, I'll probably have to expand the limit to be 1 meter. Just because the options are so limited. Because we're going to be depending on Ember for this first... You know what? Nah. We're going to learn Fire Fang pretty soon. I'm just gonna get very EVs. It'll save us time with the grinding as well. At least this makes the early game a good bit faster. Back to Mom. Gotta get a quick heal. Wait, I actually think I got a free heal while I'm walking up here, so... And if not, then at the very least... Okay, got a heal. We'll be using Litten to lead, since that gets rid of our electric type weakness and reduces the worry here. Mind trying Ghost only in this. Could be interesting since we would be starting with Rowlet. I love how they show candies in front of the Pokemart, and yet we can't buy rare candies there. Like, that seems like such a shit. Okay, so the downside to this is that now the person inside with the Bonsly is more dangerous than before. By a good margin, since we've got limited counterplay against rock types. Luckily, we will be able to learn Rock Smash before attempting to fight her. Don't train Pick-a-Peck up until it learns Rock Smash. Oh, I didn't realize that my XP share was on. Not that it mattered for this part, but let's go ahead and turn it off. Now the downside to this is that even though we have a super effective hit into Magnemite, we still have to hit it twice because it has the ability Sturdy. Which means even with our super effective hit, it'll survive the first one, no matter what. I'm hoping that once we beat the trainer school, the Corsola on the beach will spawn. Okay, there's Rock Smash. Keep going to level 10 though. Oh my gosh, it's a shiny. Okay, well, we're catching it because I like catching shinies when they show up, but we're never going to use it because it wasn't our encounter. Really? Really? Not for the use rule. I ignore the catching rules, but I'm still not allowed to use them unless they were the legal encounter. I have occasionally considered swapping in a shiny for a matching Pokemon, like for a Pokemon of the same species, but no, I don't use the shiny clause for extra encounters simply because I don't think it's in the spirit of Nuzlocking to give infinite encounters. Like, we're not even giving it anything. It's just there. It's a showpiece. We'll say that the run has been blessed, though, since we got a shiny during this attempt. The red coloration is kind of nice. It's a bit subdued. I think if I were designing the shiny for Alolan Rattata, I would have gone with pure white. You know, just something that really pops when it's on screen. I'm not a game designer, or an artist, or any good at color coordination. I mean, I'm wearing, what is this, dark gray with black shorts? Never come to me for fashion advice, folks. One more battle and we should hit level 10. And rather than healing with Mom, since we gotta go drop that rat in the Pokemon Center. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice color combo, it's just that it's not what I would have chosen. Oh, wait. Mine? I mean, the thing is, because of how dark the shirt is, it just looks like I'm wearing all black. Oh, dang, that would have been a good Rattata, actually. Take a look at those stats. It has a jolly nature and the ability to gluttony rather than hustle. Oh, that's a pity. However, if we do cat, there is a scenario where we have a chance. Actually, no, there isn't a scenario where we have a chance at getting a Rattata because I'm going to change the time today to... Actually, no, there is a scenario where we have a chance at getting an Alolan Rattata. Okay, Cutoff is up for this battle. is Cut Off Nose Rock Smash. There is a chance that we get an Alolan Rattata, in which case we will go ahead and swap in the shiny. Regardless of how good or not the other Rattata is. Oh, why not? I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Stick with leading cutout. Go with our echoed voice strat, and of course we got poison, so we can only take one more hit. And now we switch in Gym. Actually, wait, we outspeed and we finish it with the next hit. I was going to switch in Gym, but... Anyway, let's go get a heal. That said, I'm really hoping that we don't get a Alolan Rattata with our encounter in Howoli City. Hey, welcome to the stream, X-Slayer. How is it going? Yeah, we're doing a height lock of Pokemon Sun. 2 feet tall or shorter. And we've had a string of resets. I think this is technically attempt number 6. Oh, to go for Rock Smash there. Because the early game here is pretty much purely luck-based. We've tried to shake that up a bit by... Oh yeah, sorry, I don't have a command for it. It's just Pokemon 2 feet tall or shorter. Trying to shake things up by trying out Litten as the starter, which can't evolve under these rules, but it gives us a better matchup into Teacher Emily. Still going to be pretty much totally luck-based through Alima, though. Like, I'm actually very worried about that matchup. Of course, we could get really lucky and get the Pichu encounter in Hiki City. I think it's Hiki City that we're coming up on. Howoli City. Oh, your team for the X Nuzlocke? I can't remember what your team was. Can you remind me? I know you were doing middle stage Pokemon. Wait, I didn't hit level 11? Oh. I remember that you had Frogadier, which I actually know is surprisingly good into the late game, because Frogadier was my starter in my Pokemon Y Height Lock, because again, it's the only one that stays that stays 2 feet tall or shorter. That was a while back, though. I think it's been close to a year since I did my Pokemon Y Height Lock. Truth be told, there are at least a few similarities between the challenges that you would have faced with using middle stage Pokemon only and the challenges here, because a few of our best encounters are still middle stage Pokemon by the end. Like, I'm actually hoping we come across a Chargebug at some point. Almost lost to Shauna at the bridge. Yeah, that fight is surprisingly difficult. Like, it's not so much that it's difficult across the board, but there are a few frightening Pokemon in it. There's the Talonflame, the Goodra. I'm talking about the whole Bridge Gauntlet, obviously, here, but the Talonflame, the Goodra, the Aerodactyl, all have a pretty high chance of being problematic Pokemon. Didn't have anything to deal with her Delphox. Well, that's just standard for a Nuzlocke. No one ever has anything to deal with Delphox. Oh, I hate Delphox so much. Well, like, actually, as far as design, it's not the worst. I mean, it's the worst of the fully evolved Alolan starters, but it's not the worst fully evolved starter design by any means. But it's just such a pain to try and counteract. It's such a pain to try and counteract Fire and Psychic that has surprisingly good coverage and really limited defensive coverage. Muddy Water was your play. I'm glad the accuracy drops came through for you. That said, at least Shauna will never be as frustratingly annoying as Serena's completely random AI. Oh, Leer. I'm going to not go for Leer, simply because I'm probably going to stick with my first run, with my first decent run strat for getting through Alima for the most part, which means we're going to want Growl on Litten. Quick Claw. Frogadier, Floette, Fletchinder, Doublade, and Sliggoo. You know, I would kill... Sorry, I just read back through chat and I saw which Pokemon you had. I would kill to make Fletchinder be 2 feet tall, because it would actually be a decent... it would actually be a decent Pokemon for my height block, but it's just too big. Floette, surprisingly, despite the number of locations where Flabebe is a legal encounter in Alola, I never got a Floette for my height block. I was actually really annoyed because it would have been pretty good. Okay, leading with Jim. Diantha fight was pretty close, barely lived a Shadow Ball from Mega Gardevoir to finish it off with 2 Shadow Sneaks. Nice. Oh, there's a renewable way to get a Violite? I didn't know that. That makes sense. All things considered, though, like, that's definitely more worthwhile than trying to do it without those items. Though, actually, when I was looking at possibilities for Frogadier during the late game, a lot of my strategies revolved around Substitute and either Pataya or Salic Berries. Yes, I was actually considering bringing back Sub-Salic strats from Gen 3 to try and get through there. So this won't kill because of Sturdy, or it just won't kill. If we get paralyzed here, we still probably lose, but... Okay, so we're probably going to lose this matchup, because we got that unlucky 10% paralysis. And now we're probably going to die without even getting through Magnemite. Okay, we still have a chance. Move choice should be random with the next move, since we're going to die to either Bite or Scratch, so let's hope that they go with Scratch, so that we can get Cut Off in with a little bit more health. Like I said, this early game is pretty much just complete chance. Rock Smash. And being outsped, yeah, we've lost. Unless we get a crit here, but even then... Okay, yeah. Next attempt! I'm not even going to bother finishing the fight. Because there's no point. We've lost. We can't one-shot it. It's not even that I'm just not getting good luck. I'm getting actively bad luck on these attempts today. So this is what, attempt 7? Since we only didn't beat Teacher Emily because of some bad luck, I'll go ahead and take Litten again. Yeah, unfortunately, prior to beating Alima, we have just absolutely no options. Gym shorts. Let's see what nature we're packing. Exact same way. Okay, we'll roll with this for now, but if we get that exact same nature, then that means the natures are determined prior to the point where I've got my save state, so... Yeah, preschool is the new Elite Four. I love how my options are because it's cute and because it's cool. I don't get the option to say because I need a fire type to beat Trainer Emily. Because otherwise we have to rely on dodging both a crit and a paralysis from Trainer Emily's Magnemite in order to two-shot it with Rock Smash, and even then, we've got pretty limited odds. I need to remember to be throwing a Pokeball without damaging the Pick-a-Peck, because there is a chance that it comes with, I think, an Oranberry, which is helpful into a couple of these early battles. Welcome back, Cutoff. Yeah, substitute strats are actually really good on Frogadier just because it gets substitute by level up. Which means you get access to them a little bit earlier. And it's just kind of a more natural choice with it. But yeah, subbing into Torrent range and potentially into like Salic range is genuinely viable on it. Come on, just give me a Caterpie. Okay, I'll take that. What nature do we have on Cutoff? Plus attack minus speed as well. That's pretty bad, actually. Gen 7 Nuzlocks tend to be really fun though, just because you get such a variety of Pokemon. I mean, you still can't do an ice-only Nuzlocke of them without, like, you know, modding in your own starter Pokemon, but other than that, most Nuzlocks are pretty viable. Well, actually, no. One weird thing about, Gen 7 is that the first gym tends to be by far the hardest. Like, there are so few Pokemon that can reliably solo the first gym. I mean, my first Nuzlocke on this channel was poison only in Gen 7, and I had to get insanely lucky to get... I had to max out Super Train my Weedle starter before the first gym, and get insanely lucky while going through it in order to beat that thing. And that's a fully evolved Pokemon. With maxed out EVs. But we made it through. We actually did it first try, which was nice because I didn't want to go through that whole EV training session a second time. I think my favorite moment with Frogadier in the height lock was when I managed to use it to bring down Serena's... what was it, Callum's? I can't remember. I managed to use it to bring down my rival's... fully evolved grass starter. Why am I drawing a blank on the name? That one. Chestnut. Thank you, Desarius. I don't know why I couldn't remember Chestnut. It's my favorite of the Gen 6 starters. Though that has... Okay, fresh run. Attempt number 8. And we'll check to see if this run, if we get plus attack minus speed nature again. If we do, then we're gonna have to full restart. Give it a nickname. We're going with Jim again. Oh, minus attack plus speed. Well, that's different, so we definitely don't have... We're definitely not locked into a specific nature now. But yeah, my favoritism for Chestnut isn't actually necessarily based on his design. I slightly prefer the design of Greninja, but back when I used to play a lot of Pokemon Showdown online just in my free time, I was never that competitively into it, but I played randoms a lot for the most part. Randoms and Little Cup was the only bunch that I ever actually bothered designing specific teams for. That's a story for later. During one random match, I came really close to losing. And it was a really close matchup overall. And then I got insanely lucky because my Chestnut that I'd gotten happened to have Bulletproof as its ability, which meant that yeah, sure, why not? We'll go with that spelling with cutoff this time. It had Bulletproof as its ability, which saved it from an incoming Weather Ball from my opponent's Cherim, I think it was. And just in that exact moment where we survived thanks to Bulletproof, because we were immune to the Weather Ball, I had the song come into my head. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, far away. That one. And that was playing in my head for the rest of that matchup, as Chestnut managed to eke out the win because it was just bulky enough to survive hits from the Kyurem and keep recovering with Leech Seed. Ever since then, I've had a fondness for Chestnut just because of it saving me, and by complete luck in that so ridiculously close match. Those are always the fun ones in random battles online. It's when the random teams come out pretty evenly balanced and you both have to play hard, and it comes to a really close finish. Like, if you get that scenario, it's satisfying even if you lose, just with how close the match turned. Like, when it comes down to a damage roll or so at the end of the match, and one person winds up with no Pokemon and the other winds up with one Pokemon at like 4% HP. Those are the matches that really keep you on the edge of your seat. Who knows, someday we might do some random battles just to hang out. That said, Gen 6 Little Cup was my crowning moment as far as competitive skill. Not that I ever did, like, tournaments or anything, but I had a team that was taking me up the ladder at a fantastic rate. And it was entirely designed around Anorith. Because, guess what? Anorith, surprisingly good roll compression. Or, no, it wasn't entirely designed around Anorith. Anorith was the key to the whole team, though. So, I had this idea to take advantage of two of the most potent cores in Little Cup at the time. which was the Volturn core and the Regenerator core. And I felt like this was doable because Mienfoo, the best Pokemon in Little Cup at the time, could fit into both cores. So, Volturn core focuses on gaining momentum through pivoting with Volt Switch and U-turn. And my Volturn core was Mienfoo and Fletchinder, each with U-turn, and Sturdy Magnemite with Volt Switch. And then Regenerator was just about the best backbone to any competitive team. Like, it was pretty much, forgot to redo the team order once we hit level 7. Regenerator is just about the only way to reliably remain at high health in Little Cup, because it's a very bulky offense-focused metagame. So having a way to take advantage of all of the pivoting to remain at high health was really useful. And so I went really in-depth on the bulky side of the Regenerator core. So my bunch were Fungus, Slowpoke, and obviously Mienfoo, who also has Regenerator. Like, that's what inspired this whole team, was that Mienfoo could fit into both a Regenerator core and a U-turn core, so I had to ask myself, what if I had both of them? So those 5 Pokemon formed up the, I guess, interlocking double core of my team. And then I had to look at the roles that I needed to take care of, and surprisingly, there was only one Pokemon that could fill all of those roles simultaneously. Because there were just a few targets that I really couldn't deal with. But as it turns out, Anorith is really good at roll compression, because it gets Rapid Spin, Knock Off, Stealth Rock, and Rock Blast. All of which stab Rock Blast on top of an 18 speed stat, which is really fast for Little Cup. And all of those filled issues that I needed. I needed Stealth Rocks up reliably if my opponent happened to have Poniard, because my strategy for dealing with Poniard was to bait it in with Fletchling and then hit it with Overheat. Okay, and we get a heal. And we're ready to go. Yeah, baiting it in with Fletchling and then finishing it with Overheat, but we needed a small amount of Stealth Rock chip to guarantee that KO. And there were a couple of other tricky Pokemon like that that we needed to deal with. Opposing Mienfoo were pretty dangerous for us unless we were able to knock off their Eviolite. Arkin was pretty scary, but we were able to deal with it if we hit it with Rock Blast. And just the fantastic roll compression that our team put together was pretty great. And then beyond that, it was mostly just status spam. We used our regenerator core to wear the team down and spread status while we waited for the right opening. So in one of your random matches on Showdown, you each got a Kahuna, and they were your last Pokemon. So you reenacted the Metapod versus Metapod scene. And you won by struggle recoil because it started struggling and it was slightly faster. That's great. Gotta love the classic Metapod v Metapod scenario. Yeah, I'm too lazy to do the research anymore to come up with competitively viable teams, and Little Cup was really the only bunch that I ever really enjoyed the idea of running. And I'm not that fond of the more hyper-offensive Little Cups that have happened since, and that's just a natural development of the metagame because, well, as the generations go on and more options become available, it becomes harder and harder for Pokemon at first stage to put together a valid defensive set, because the offensive options keep expanding and the defensive options are still facing some of the same fundamental limitations that come with being at level 1, or at level 5, not level 1. The speed of this, the slowness of this particular pick-a-pack is gonna be a problem. Yeah, it's always nice when you manage to find a matchup where you're having a good conversation, at least, with your opponent. Yeah, I climbed into, like, the top 100 on Little Cup with my double core team with Anorith as my glue. Okay, now we gotta go and train Pick-a-Peck to have Rock Smash. And truth be told, if I hadn't decided that I really needed to stop sinking so much time into Little Cup, into Pokemon Showdown, I'm very confident that I would have reached the top of the ladder in Little Cup with my team. As it stands, I did decide that, and I don't really regret the decision either. But it was still so fun to have all of these A and S tier Pokemon from Little Cup, and then the glue that held the team together and that made the winning streaks that I was pulling off possible. Oh, we're running XP share. Honestly, that's not an issue. Until we hit level 11 with Jim here. Then it'll be an issue. Then we don't want to go higher. But yeah, it was just so funny that a C-tier Pokemon was the glue holding that team of, like, top-tier behemoths together. And it was also pretty funny whenever I had to take on a Pawniard with my Slowpoke. Because sadly there were counterplay options for dealing with my bait Fletchinder. Okay, now we gotta turn off XP share. So it wasn't always reliable, and sometimes I just had to use my bait Fletchinder to get rid of Ferocity instead, which was equally annoying since matches could just evolve into loops involving them switching in Ferocity, me switching in Fungus, neither of us being able to do anything to the other, rinse and repeat. And I pretty much had to bring in Fungus if they brought in Ferocity because, well, they had Leech Seed, and Leech Seed was a big problem for all of my other team members. I think the thing that really killed that team, though, like, I probably would have adjusted the team setup for Gen 7 when it came around. But the thing that really killed it was just that they nerfed Gale Wings on Fletchinder so that now it had to be at full HP in order to have priority acrobatics. And that was an issue. Like, there really isn't another way of saying that. That broke a lot of the strategies that I was using, and I didn't have the motivation to try and put together a fresh set of strategies. Because that didn't happen until I had already not been playing Pokemon Showdown for like 2 years. 2.5, probably close to 3. It's interesting that they never gave Pick-a-Peck Quick Attack. At the same time, its first stage is definitely one of the better designs for a first stage basic burb. Like, it's just very streamlined. At the same time, it's small. It's small and cute, but look like real burb. That said, Halo is still probably the best designed basic burb. Nowadays, if I go on Pokemon Showdown, it's just to do random battles because I'm pretty decent at the thinking on my feet needed to succeed in randoms. It's just the other ones that I'm just not willing to put in all of the time before the match to strategize. Besides, there's really nothing at stake in randoms. You go in, you lose a lot, you win a lot, and nothing really matters because you didn't put any time into trying to get set up. It's just an accurate representation of how much you can think on your feet. Yeah, Pidgey's got a good design, it's just a pity that Pidgeotto's such a lousy Pokemon. But design-wise, I'd have to agree. At the same time, Hoot is a pretty strong design just because it's so out there. I appreciate when they make a Pokemon so ridiculous that it makes sense. Though they get points deducted for the name. Because Hoot Hoot is a pretty garbage name. Hello there, Hoot Hoot. Let me introduce you to my other bird Pokemon. Flap Flap, Peck Peck, and Feather Feather. Yeah, the trouble that Pidgeot has is just that it's so thoroughly outclassed by so many other options, both in its own generation and since then. Because it's almost the worst of the common normal flying birds. If you stretch it out beyond the common ones to stuff like Chatot, then it gets a slight improvement. But, I mean, just between, like, Pidgey was on all the same routes as Spearow, and Spearow was just a better Pokemon across the board. It briefly fell behind when Pidgey evolved into Pidgeotto, but then as soon as it got to Fearow, it was already better than Pidgeot. And don't even get me started on the rarer Doduo and Dodrio, because those things blow the other two out of the water. And then we get around to the next generation, and Hoot Hoot and Noctowl weren't great, but they had psychic coverage, which was pretty cool. It gave them a niche that Pidgeotto and Pidgeot couldn't have. And then we got to Gen 3 with Tailo and Swellow, which are just fantastic Pokemon in general. Just being able to throw around those chonky guts-boosted facades and relatively strong and extremely fast aerial aces. All that was good. Wait, did I already clear this dude? No, I didn't. Oh, I remember what I was prepping for. I leveled a bit farther than I meant to, but it's whatever. Okay, I took care of her. We'll go get a quick heal. But yeah. Gen 3 Dodrio, it didn't hurt that it was one of the few Pokemon that got a hold of Drill Peck by level up as well. Okay, we got work up. I've been trying to come up with like a fire red or leaf green challenge that I want to do. I think at the moment grass only is probably the most likely one for me to try, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Multi-headlock would actually be good there because, frankly, a lot of multi-head Pokemon are in Gen 1, but we'd have to cheat in a starter. Oh, wait. And that's just because none of the starters are actually legal encounters, and it takes a while to come across one that is. Okay, let's try this again. Can we not get paralyzed? Thank you. And you know, that Quick Claw might have mattered because we could have been speed tied. I'm really not sure. Oh, actually, we've got a plus speed nature, so probably not. And if it can knock us into blaze range, that would actually be pretty ideal. Okay, it didn't, so we're at risk to a crit, but there's no sense in swapping because if we get crit on either of them, we just die. Like, we could swap in Pick-a-Peck, but it can't really do anything. Okay, we graduated. And we get to go on our little late night walk with our GF, so that's nice. Of course, it gets interrupted by Hal because he's jealous. Okay, so now we've reached Howoli City. It is nighttime. So now I'm going to back up and see if we can get that wide lens from the Corsola. When do they start spawning? Better switch cutoff up front. Make sure that we spread out our XP because now we're actually coming up against the level cap. I took the extra level before Teacher Emily to help make things a little bit more secure, but it does have downsides. Okay. We're about to be forced to try and take a picture. And then we will proceed to not take a picture. But we will talk the lady out here because that gets us a silk scarf, which is actually useful. And that's about the only useful item here, so now in Howoli City, we really can't influence the encounter, but we will get our encounter at night, as it currently is. Simply because we have a guaranteed Young Goose encounter, and having the Rattata dupe wouldn't actually be that bad. But you know what? That's usable. And we don't have a water type, so... We don't have a water type yet, so we can roll with that. Though it does compound our electric type issues. So I guess you get to be board shorts now. Let's see, any other items that we'll want to get? somewhere around here. So there's a Delibird in City Hall that has a shell bell. And a TM for Echoed Voice. And that's about it as far as stuff we can get now. We can come back later with Stoutland to get some type boosting blades. So is this City Hall? Or is this just the police station? I'm not really sure. Is this where we get the TM? This is where we get the Echoed Voice TM. Seriously, I don't know where City Hall is. Is this it? Oh, there you are. And where's the Delibird? Huh. Let's see. Howley City. Shell Bell. Ah, we have to talk to the receptionist. I'll talk to you. In fact, I'll just talk to everyone, just to be on the safe side, just to make sure I've talked to the receptionist. I'll go out, come back in, and hopefully the Delibird will be here. Okay, clearly I'm missing something. Okay then, I've missed something, I don't know what it is, moving on. Shell Bell isn't that good of an item anyway. Like, it's very, very minor or very minor healing. So that's about it, so now we'll want to go and take care of the Skullgrunt. And in order to do that, I think first of all, we'll put away we'll put away Board's held item, and then we'll do a little bit of training up with Board. And let's check Board's summary as well. I'm hoping for Kenai, we got hydration, okay, whatever. Kenai would have been better since we can't really rely on hydration anywhere. A plus speed nature is decent at least, but minus special defense is a bit annoying. Then again, it is an extremely frail Pokemon regardless, so that minus special defense isn't going to be much. Okay, we're going to focus on just training up against Caterpies here. In fact, I'm going to do that little time travel save warp thing that I did before. So we'll go ahead and restart the game. And now it's daytime again. Which slightly boosts our chances of getting an encounter that we'll actually want to use to train against. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if there are any good options for training special attack other than the Abra in Howley City, and we can't one-shot them, so they're just going to be teleporting away. Moment, our best bet is to train in speed and HP, and training in speed means fighting. Okay, training in speed means fighting other Wingles, which, until we've got Wing Attack, just seems like a long... it would be a long, slow process. I've said a lot about other Pokemon games, but I already know which run I think I want to do next when we next do Nuzlocke. Because I really like the look of Pokemon Emerald using only Dark types. It looks like a really fun setup. Get a decent starter that can solo the first gym with at least a little bit of luck, I believe. And we get guaranteed Sableye before the fighting gym, which is the main reason it's possible. And beyond that, there are like 5 other dark types available in game, with a decent-ish stat spread. I mean, we get 2 water types and 2 grass types, but, like, several of them are genuinely good Pokemon, and I think it could be doable. Dark types have a pretty good matchup, or at least a neutral matchup into most of the late game, so I think it's possible. The real dangers would be trying to get past Watson and Flannery, but I mean that's true for literally every... that's true for literally every Gen 3 Nuzlocke. Those 2 are the most dangerous. Oh, Watson is a problem. Actually, Watson and Flannery are the reasons that I haven't bothered taking a second look at Ghost only in Gen 3. No, the fighting gym is completely free because we can get Sableye before it. Nothing in the fighting gym can do any damage to Sableye. The fighting gym offers no challenge whatsoever. The challenge of the fighting gym is catching Sableye. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother looking into it, because, honestly, the fighting gym would be nearly impossible with just Mightyena. Which is kind of sad, considering Mightyena does tend to have... like, Mightyena is a stronger Pokemon than anything Brawly is carrying. Oh wait, we can afford to go and train against other Wingles now that we've got Wing Attack. Unfortunately, they do have a pretty high chance of hitting us with Supersonic, in which case we just gotta run. But yeah, it's the nice thing. Real quick, I'm going to check and see what Slowbro actually gives. Or Slowpoke. 1 HP. I mean, it's usable, but you know what? Yeah, we'll take it. Never mind, we won't take it. It takes way too long to get through those guys. It's not worth it. Okay. So the positive, like, we didn't get Rattata, but at the same time, that's not that big of a deal, since we can avoid potential future Rattata encounters by just having it having it be daytime. The only reason I didn't bother with that is that I don't want to, is that I was hoping to get a different Pokemon than Yungoos, since Young Goose is guaranteed in the cave for the first trial that I can't remember the name of. We're gonna go and heal up. Oops, I didn't mean to get into this match, but it's fine. We can one-shot it, so it's no big deal. Yeah, I actually want to try it because I think it's fully possible. I don't know which scares me more, Watson with his paralysis spam or Flannery with her beastly overheats before I have a water type. On the one hand, I can get grass types before Watson, but even then, we're still going to be taking a lot of damage and dealing with rampant paralysis. But on the other hand, like, Flannery is generally easier to play around, just because she doesn't involve as much hacks. Meaning, if you can find a chance to get set up on like her first wall or something, then you're golden. But on the other hand, yeah, I think we should be good for the Team Skull Grunt now. On the other hand, her insane power means that if you can't get set up, you're at a pretty big risk to her Torkoal camera. Let's see now. How old is town? That's what I want to pull up. What is this Team Skull Grunt packing? There you are. Absorb, Supersonic, and Astonish. So, if we have to, this fight is pretty much completely free with Pick-a-Peck. At the same time, I'm going to try and clear it with just Wingull, which should be doable. Just went for Astonish, so the match is pretty much over at this point. The only thing we had to worry about there was Supersonic, because it would have meant some pivoting until we were in and clear to attack. And now we need to decide how we're going to prep for So, let's just take a moment and look at this, because since we started with, Litten, Elima's Smeargle will be packing water, which is slightly better than Leafage for us, just because Smeargle's special attack is pretty bad. At the same time, it's got maximum speed investment, which means that absolutely none of our Pokemon can take it. Real quick. I just gotta get a couple of extra tabs open because I haven't been keeping up as well as I should have. Got that one, and we got... So, Pick-a-Pack doesn't learn any more moves before the next level. Wingull learns Mist at... Oh, that's actually potentially really good. Okay, if we use Wingull to set up Mist, that will give us a bit of extra safety for whichever Pokemon is trying to set up, because they can't be hit by Leer from Alima's Gumshoes. Or Youngers. So I just have to scroll through a long thing. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. So that's them. So if we get bored to level 12, we'll pick up Mist, which will protect our Pokemon from Leer, from Youngers. Which, to me, says that our best case scenario is sending out Board, setting up as many Growls as we can, setting up Mist, and then either switching out or just letting Board go down. So that we can get a safe switch into one of the others for a setup. And between the two, I think Cutoff is going to be our setup Pokemon, just because we've got a little bit more XP wiggle. Go ahead and drop Growl. Okay. So Cutoff is already at level 11. I'm pretty close to being past it. Basically, once we do this match, we're going to have to depend pretty heavily on the Pokemon that we pick up from the next two encounters we have. That said, can go ahead and stampede through some back here to boost our speed. Okay, I think this is a bit more reliable of a strategy than we were running last time, just because we get access to Mist, and I'm willing to level a little bit farther. The nice thing is, Crabrawler, if we get its encounter, which I think is guaranteed under the tree, easily solos the normal type trial, which simplifies this for us a good bit. Seemed like a scripted event for that Brawler to be hanging out under that tree there. If it's not, and we have to wait for a day, then I might just call the run once we reach the Brawler, considering I've been streaming for like 3 hours already. Sorry guys, it's taken more tries than last time to get to Olima. Last time we got to Olima, first try, I believe, and lost. And then we got past Alima on the second try, and honestly, getting past Alima on the second try was extremely lucky, and I see that now. I didn't understand just how much luck was involved in that. Get us to level 12. And we can learn Mist in place of not Growl. Oh, that would have ruined the entire strategy. This Growl is also part of the strategy. I wish that we had a berry. N berry, but we can't get N berries in this stage. Okay, so cut off, workup, correct. Good. So it'll be a pretty straightforward set up as many workups as we can do safely, and then start firing off Echoed Voice to get a couple of boosts on it before the Smeargle comes out. Okay, let's go. Alright, and Growl. Unfortunately, this does involve putting Board in danger, but if Board dies, like, we can deal with that to a certain extent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure just about any crit at this point would kill Board, because we're at -2 defense. 5. And we kinda have to risk it, because we want all 6 Growls and a Mist up. Please don't crit. Now, if we go without a crit here, then we get then Board survives today. Okay, cut off, you're in. And now the only thing we have to worry about is critical hits. For the moment, at least. So we're 2 turns into that, meaning we're safe from getting leered. We work up twice. Echoed Voice. And we just kind of have to hope that we have enough health after taking all of these hits to not go down in one shot to Smeargle's Tackle, which is still a very real possibility, and I'm pretty sure guaranteed if it crits. Echoed Voice. We get outsped, we have to take a tackle. And I think we just lost. Ember. Somehow our Litten outspeeds. If we get knocked down into Torrent range and get another crit, we might win, but no. We've lost. You know what? I'm going to see if Wingull can finish this off. I'm going to see if Board can finish off this matchup. And we'll see what happens there. But I'm pretty sure we don't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now the question is, do we want to try this with only Wingull? Like, it wouldn't be an issue except we no longer have Pick-a-Peck, which is one of our best encounters for the early game. Huh. You know what? No. I think we're going to go ahead. That was attempt 8, folks. I think we're going to go ahead and call it for the day. Like, so here's the thing. We could go on to the next area, get our Drifloon encounter and our Crabrawler encounter, and we could probably beat the next little bit, but not having Pick-a-Peck really puts us low on the power curve for the early game, and I don't really want to deal with that. So let's see, I started... You know what, we'll start up the next one, because I have a bit more time. I was overestimating how much time I had been streaming already. I've been streaming for a little bit less than 3 hours, so... We'll go ahead and do one more attempt. If I get another fast Litten, I might try and handle this a little bit differently, and do my setup with Litten, because it could outspeed me. Fast Litten could outspeed. Otherwise, we once again have to avoid crits, which we have no way of functionally doing. Alright, Gym Shorts. And of course, we got a minus speed. Okay, well, there goes that plan. At the same time, there's so much that can happen in this early portion of the game that I just can't control, especially the encounter in town. I'm not even going to worry about the nature. Because again, we could always still get a Pikachu, or a Pichu encounter, which would help a lot with a lot of these. I think Pikachu pretty soundly solos Smeargle. Oh, it's so nice having that save state, though. Cut off. Welcome to attempt number 9. Maybe what we need to do is choose the girl trainer at the start. Plus special defense, but minus physical, that's not great. This is a tricky run, but the long and short of it is that I do really want to get off to a decent start. I can deal with a lot of things down the line, I think, if we just have some strong luck at the beginning. So that's what I'm holding out for at the moment. We have a pretty good idea of how much we have a pretty good idea of the early game grinding at this point. What levels to go for and such. To me, Mama. These days, I might even read what Hala says to me about this event there, but today is not that day. Okay, let's go. Beat us here if she went the long way around. Like, surely she would get into a couple of encounters in the grass and have to run away. That would take time. The button mashing. She parkoured. Okay, but she still would have parkoured into some encounters. I parkoured. And I parkoured along a path that didn't have encounters. Alright, time to go to school. Parkoured harder, fair enough. I can't really question that. And I mean, props to me if my GF can parkour, you know? It's just cool. Okay, time to do a bit of grinding, get cut off to learn Rock Smash. Rock Smash, let's go deal with the Bonsly. Oh, I meant to do Rock Smash. Useful item we have access to at the moment. And I think I wanted to give that to our minus speed cat. Gotta heal. And take on this dude. Okay, so this was a pretty ideal battle. We went for Harden turn 1, and after that... I don't think I'm going to push Litten quite as close to the level 11. Like, I don't think I'm going to push it all the way to level 11. I'm just going... Oh wait, we're already pretty close. So yeah, I just want to make sure that we're at level 11 by the time we're facing the... I think that'll give us a little bit more wiggle room with our XP. Okay, now, no crit, no paralysis, please. Of course we got paralysis. So what? Oh, hey, Quick Claw kicked in. So we can beat the Magnemite, but then it is going to be a little bit on the tricky side for the Meowth. So we'll try using Ember. Unfortunately, Paraflinch is dangerous. As long as they don't crit, we have a chance still of surviving this fight. Okay, now we'll switch to Cutoff. And we have to survive some chunk waves. Luckily, we have Rock Smash, which is super effective. Unluckily, we're outsped and it doesn't matter. So unless this is a crit, we've lost. Or a speed tie, I guess, but I think that's pretty unlikely. Alright, attempt number 10. Here we go. So even if Quick Claw pops, again, we're in the same situation where our best early game Pokemon is dead. Alright. Go ahead and load our save state again. I mean, the positive is that this is getting down to a science now. Does make things a lot safer against Teacher Emily, even if it doesn't make things guaranteed. Oh, I forgot to adjust the nickname. You know what? We'll take care of that later. Nature at least will help. Also, I love how in 2 of my 10 attempts, I've gotten I actually think in possibly 3, I can't quite remember what happened with the earlier ones. Anyway. I'm going to learn to catch Pokemon for the 100th or so time. It's early game purgatory in this because there's so much risk involved. I do want to test something though, because it only seems to give us the encounter if we get out to a certain point. I want to see if we can get the encounter before that. I think this is like, whatchamacallit, X and Y, where they've got a certain area for the first encounter, and if you don't hit that area, then you just don't get encounters ever. Alright. Cut off shorts. Welcome to the team. Plus attack, but minus speed. That's pretty bad, honestly, but roll with it. Again, we don't need it perfect. We just need it good enough to get through the first couple of challenges. sure this is the most thrilling content y'all have ever experienced, but the thing is, I feel like it would be kind of disingenuous to use candies and other options in PK Hex to simulate the training more quickly, just because there is so much risk in this early portion. Like, there is actual danger in the grind. Once we get to the point where we could safely grind for experience and EVs, that I tend to start using external tools to speed things along. But while we're trapped in this early game purgatory, I feel like we kind of have to deal with the experience of early game purgatory. I don't want to accidentally give myself an unrealistic advantage. How it's my name on the mailbox and not like my mom's, because my mom doesn't have a name, you see, she's just a mom. Obviously moms don't have names. Please don't take that joke seriously, I love my mom. Getting the wooden spoon if she were listening to the stream. She might be listening to the stream. She does tune in fairly often. She quite enjoyed the Plague Tale streams, for example. Unless you're saying that she would be... Like, when you're saying she would be getting the wooden spoon, is she getting it to, like, make brownies or something? Because I would be okay with that. My mom makes really good brownies. Alright, let's go. It's me versus nepotism. In fact, if I got to name my rival in this game, I would name him Nepotism. Because, like, the only reason he's in this situation where he's up against me is because he is Hala's grandson. Oh my gosh, it's so button mashing, my arm is actually gonna get tired. This will be our last attempt for tonight, regardless of how it goes. Or for today, because... well, it's been a lot of attempts. That's really the only reason. The funny thing is, every single other Nuzlocke I've tried on stream, apart from the Poison Monologue in Pokemon Y, I've finished in exactly 2 tries. The Y Monologue took me only took me 1 try. And I know that EXP share is on. I'm actually aware of this. So having to reset like 10 different times to get through this is a new experience, to say the least. I mean, it's not the first Nuzlocke that I've ever had to reset this much on, but it is the first one I've had to reset this much on stream. Okay, and now we just need to go and get cut off to level 9 for... yes, I did that. Cutoff needs to be at level 9 for Rock Smash. Defense drop, which is helpful because at level 9 we're not doing as much damage as we have in some other attempts. Hi there. Can you please go for Harden? That would be helpful. Trouble is when he gets the poison first turn. share on. We're going to go and find some Wingles to train against. Why is it all slow, bro? There we go. I'm just trying to get some speed EVs on my Litten. Except it refuses to spawn in any Wingle. Level 11, so that's where we're going to stop for the grind for Teacher Emily. I suppose we could have done what I did last time. We could have held out for a hero till the end of the night, but he's gotta be cool, and he's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fresh for the fight. Could have held off just before level 10, or just before level 11 to get the level up, to give us some wiggle room by getting the level up during the fight when we've beaten Magnemite. But, you know. Look, all of this repetitive grinding is quite wearing. Okay, we dodged the Thunder Shock. That only did 7 damage, so if we get the same damage roll, we'll survive. But it doesn't matter because we got flinched again. And unfortunately, I don't even think that we can do this one, even if we don't get flinched, just because... Oh! Hey, we made it! Oh, I hate you so much, Teacher Emily. Alright, Mom, can you heal up my team again? get a free heal after that. Pokefinder tutorial. As far as I can tell, there is no practical application to the Pokefinder. Okay, got a Rattata. Caught the Rattata. And you are Romper. So, benefits to having Romper in the party. It does pretty much guarantee the fight against Dexio. On the other hand, if it has Hustle, then yeah, okay, it has Hustle, so we can't rely on it for anything where it's not immune to the opponent's attacks. So for this time around, we'll probably try to set up for, okay. First of all, I need to check, actually. When does this little rat learn Sand Attack? Or does it already know Sand Attack? I should probably actually check that. No, it doesn't know Sand Attack yet. Rattata and Sand Attack. It doesn't. Is it Yungoos that learns Sand Attack? Okay. Well, that's annoying and incredibly painful, especially since we're going to want to double check the beach a few times. Girl at night, I'm trying to heal Corsola, but when does the Corsola spawn? Because it's night. Okay, so that said, we can use Romper for a couple of things. It will be one of our Pokemon for setting up growls against the Yungoos that we're up against. That said, now we kind of have to deal with the worst part of having this rat. just that we're going to need to try leveling it up. I love how 2 of the 3 times that we've made it to this point, well, is it 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4? I'm not sure. Most of the times that we've made it to this point, we have gotten the worst option of the encounters in this area, because Rattata is actually just a really bad option. And it's funny because it's not even like Rattata is the most common option. It's tied with Wingull. Abra is more common. It only makes up 20% of the total encounters, and I don't know, like 30% of the legal ones. There's no reason that I should be getting it so often and so consistently. Except, of course, Murphy's Law. Now, if we do manage to keep it alive long enough for it to learn Hyper Fang and for us to have the normal Z Crystal, we will have a pretty powerful Breakneck Blitz. But, again, honestly, I would have mostly preferred, well, obviously Pichu. Pichu is by far the best encounter, but out of the relatively common ones, my preference would probably have been Grimer or Alolan Meowth, because both of those give us a Dark type to deal with Dexio, but are just much better Pokemon on the whole. Push to at least level 10, go and deal with the Team Skull Grunt, push to level 11, and then try to deal with Alima. And against Alima, we're going to do a variation on the same setup strat, but we're going to try setting up against we're going to try setting up with Litten this time around. I love how we can miss like 9 shots in a row with 100% accurate moves. Gotta love that. Yeah, we'll try setting up with Litten this time around, just because I think between, well, first of all, Litten's got the speed, which means we might be able to get off an attack against Smeargle before it hits us. And second, if our second attack against Smeargle, if our second attack against Smeargle is Blaze boosted, we might be able to get a bit safer finish. Besides, I just really don't want to risk Pick-a-Peck, because if we can get through this match at all, with Pick-a-Peck alive, we've got a pretty good chance for the early game. Pick-a-Peck is really the only absolutely crucial Pokemon that we've got right now. The rest, there's a pretty good chance that they will eventually get sacrificed at some point, even if it's not right now. Items. And he can't really do anything to Pick-a-Peck, so we'll go ahead and start firing off Echo Voice. Anyway, we're not ready to fight Luma himself yet, so get our team up to level 11. Oh, I didn't mean to walk in front of you, but you know what? Assuming we don't miss like 5 times, we're pretty safe there. You gotta be careful here, because any crit from another Rattata is pretty devastating to Gromper, so... especially since we can't one-shot them. I did not mean... Oh my gosh. Pressing all of the buttons. I'm just trying to find... Okay, well, we've hit our level. Oh, wait, there's one other thing that I wanted to check. We've gotten past the Team Skullgruts. Can we find and help the Corsola on the beach now? Oh, I'm guessing that it has to be later. Because I'd really like to have the NPC. I'd really like to run into the NPC Corsola in order to get a wide lens for Romper. Make his attacks just a little bit more reliable, but okay, well, Romper, here you go. So the plan is pretty straightforward. We're going to set up... Oh man, I forgot to teach workup. Well, we're probably screwed, but I guess now we're just going for echoed voice strats. Don't worry about the strength of that growl, that was just because it has the ability Stake Out and I switched in that turn. But we may have just thrown this run, or I should say I may have just thrown this entire run on coming in to this fight without teaching workup first. Might just barely survive this next tackle. Yep, okay, well, we'll bring in Cut Off and probably get crit on the switch for an instant kill. Yeah, none of our Pokemon have workup, so we're just gonna use Echoed Voice. Trouble with just using this is, well, we have to take a bunch of leaders, which will make Smeargle do more damage on the next turn. So yeah, unless our Quick Claw pops, we probably just die to Smeargle on our next turn. Oh, see, that was actually a mistake on your part, Halima, because now I'm pretty sure we're going to have a max power Echoed Voice. If our Quick Claw pops into a crit, that might win it for us. But probably we just die. Yeah, okay. Well, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. It's been around 3 hours of missed runs. We'll be back for attempt number 11 tomorrow. Maybe instead of tracking the days, I should track the attempts. So, hang on. I'm just going to edit my title now for tomorrow. Attempt 11. But I think we're gonna call it there because I am good with wrapping it up at that point. We might even... Next time I might queue up another game or something, just so if we've gone for like 2 solid hours trying to clear it, then we can shake it up. I've actually got a bit of an idea because apparently Scurry has released a demo game that's like a top-down 2D Zelda-inspired game, so that sounds interesting. We might try that. I'm pretty sure we will try that on stream at some point, but yeah. Everyone, thanks for hanging out as we tried to beat the early game Purgatory. I'm thinking we might... Nah, we'll keep sticking with Litten going into tomorrow. It's just nice having a semi-reliable option into Teacher Emily. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone to raid. Nah. So we're just gonna call it there. It's a pity that things didn't go better, but, you know, sometimes you just need a bit of good luck at the start of a run to make it happen. And we can have that. I firmly believe that we can have enough luck at the start of the run to carry us into the portion where we start actually gaining control of what happens. In the meantime, everyone, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching, thanks for lurking and chatting as you did, and I hope to see y'all next time. Later, folks.